Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Survival Specialist. Here we are with an news on an update video for Dawn of Man. Magura Works just put this out on Steam and they are working on an update right now. As you can see, it says armor update work in progress. So the main theme of this update is going to be armor, and let's read about it. Let's find out more. You can now make armor in the game that your people will wear when the alert is triggered. So it only applies when the alert is triggered, guys. You know how we click on that alert button when raiders are coming and they gather. So that's only when they're going to put it on. Other times they're not going to have it on. And looking at it, it looks pretty slick, actually. That's for women and that's for men. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. So I think this is leather and this is male because it says two types, right? It comes in two variants. Leather armor, a basic protective armor made of leather, offers reasonable protection. So this is kind of like the early game armor that you're going to have. And this is the male armor, a more advanced form of armor made of iron rings, offers better protection. That's pretty cool. And I like the way it looks. The male armor is definitely what I'm doing. Well, obviously we had some protection with our shields. But now it's better with the male armor, so or leather armor early game. So I'm assuming that raiders also will be wearing these, I guess. All right. So to make those, we're gonna have an armorer now, structure that produces leather and male armor. We've also moved the shield manufacturing here. Oh, that's good. So now all of our protective gear will be produced from there. That's good, which was in the workshop previously. Excellent. And I like the way it looks. Yeah, kind of has that Nordic touch to it, which is really nice. All right, so new techs, armor male and reinforced shields, reinforced shields. Okay, required for leather armor, male armor, and oval shields. Okay, so we need to unlock new techs, 3 new techs. I wonder which age those are going to be in. It doesn't say, so that we can actually start making the armorer and producing leather and male armor. Okay, I'm assuming that's going to be like starting at least before Copper Age. Must be towards the end of Stone Ages. Yeah. Okay, before the Copper Age, I suppose. Right, that makes sense. That makes sense in my mind. Okay, let's see. There's some combat improvements. It is now possible to edit the position at which people gather behind the gates when the alert is on. That's nice, because they were all clustered in one location, and you wouldn't be able to select all of them. So you can change that a little bit. Okay, that's going to be interesting to find out how that's going to work. In the Bronze and Iron Ages, raiders don't immediately acquire all techs in the era, but they do it progressively with each attack wave. Okay, that's good. That's good. So they don't just, if you go into one age, then the raiders go into that age, and they progress as you would. So that's kind of fair. There is now an option in the defense panel to customize the amount of men and women that will use melee weapons in combat. Okay. Oh, so you can have more ranges and you can change the number of melee fighters. That's cool. That's actually nice, because I like to have more ranged people and less melee. Okay. That's actually really nice. All right. People will now upgrade their weapons from slings to bows if available. I was having this trouble, actually. If you guys remember, I was thinking, like, I want to get rid of these slings, but they're not good. Because they're not good. And people were not picking up bows, but they were sticking to the slings. Now, that's good. They will automatically get bows. Excellent. Weapons that raiders drop when dead now have a random condition instead of 100%. That's only fair. That only makes sense. So you can't just pick up raider items, weapons, and expect it to be 100% because, you know, they have differing difficulty and they have differing conditions. Very good. Only makes sense. Added some old raiders and slightly increased the proportion of males that come to attack. I thought it was mostly males. I didn't see the females amongst them. All right. Cavemen don't exactly look like, you know, your models. All right. Clothing now decays when absorbing combat damage. The damage that is saved is instead taken by the clothing. Okay. that's good. So now clothing is going to decay from combat. That's good. All right, next we have stamina decay rate is now cut in half when the alert is on. This affects all humans, including raiders. Okay, so this is for everyone, both the humans in the settlement and for the raiders. So that's just gonna allow us to have more exciting fights, I'm assuming, since there's gonna be less stamina drainage. Slings can now be sold for their full value up to the Neolithic only, down from the Copper Age. Okay, I'll take it. Whatever. Now slings are going to be like 1 by the time you get to Copper Age for their trade value. General improvements. New adult percentage resource limits. Now, I'm very excited about this, guys. I read this over once, and they might have taken the advice I've given on my review video to heart with this particular change. And I didn't quite understand it, and I hope it is what I suggested it is. Let's give it a read together, right? New adult percentage resource limits. Sounds like what I suggested. It is now possible to set a resource limit to a percentage of the adults in the settlement. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure. So you can have a certain limit. Okay. Oh, resource limit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is now the default for tools, shields, and armor, as children cannot use them. Okay. So we can tweak the other ones. Improved tooltips for all resource limits to make everything more clear. Okay, so this is just for regular limits, but it's not a bottom limits, is it? I'm not sure. Added 33% resource limit. I'm not sure what they mean, guys. I'm really not sure what they mean. And I hope it is what I suggested, like to have a bottom limit so that your people don't use a certain amount of things so that they can be used as you want them, so that they're not automatically finished. I hope it is. If it is, it's a huge improvement to the game. All right, let's move on. Improved meat, bones, and raw skins limit behavior. Butchering tasks for hunted and slaughtered animals will now only get auto-generated if any of meat, bone, or raw skins are under the limits. Okay, so if you're butchering, and if you're automatically butchering, then they're not gonna butcher if it's under the limit, so that meat is gonna go to waste. Okay, in auto-generated butchering tasks after hunting or slaughtering, people will not extract resources that are over the limits. So you have to make them do that. Meat limit is now set to infinity by default. Very good. Raw skins limit is now set to 40 by default. It was 10. Now, I think I'm just going to set this to infinity as well, since I want to collect all. Bones limit is now set to 20. It was 10. Okay, that's good. They've increased it, but I'm just going to basically max these out. You know what I mean? Since they're not going to be auto-collecting. Because back before this update, the update is not here yet, but once the update is implemented, they're not going to be automatically collecting all the bones and the meat, which is what I want them to do. So we're just going to set these to infinity at the beginning of the game. These changes do not affect manual butchering tasks. Fair enough, but manual, I don't want to manually click every time. I'm just going to set it to infinity and let them do it automatically. Okay. Improved direct commands behavior. When a person is given a direct command to move somewhere by right-clicking on the ground, they will stand there and they won't go to their usual combat positions. This is useful when enemies are attacking if you want to station a bunch of people somewhere instead of the default positions. Okay, this is going back to the previous point about how battles are positioning of the people can be edited within the battle scenarios, setups. They won't wander around town. Good. For a while, they won't go and get any weapons or armor. But we want them to get weapons and armor if it's a fight scenario. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. For a while, they won't go to rest. For a while, they won't get assigned any tasks. They won't go to store any resources. So if you right-click them, they're going to stay there for a little while. Good, good. The idea behind these changes is that you get more control over what people do, but eventually they will do what they need to survive. Good. Okay, pathfinding improvements. Humans will retry with higher accuracy if they can't find a suitable path to the destination. Okay, so they're going to be able to find their path. Beings prefer to walk on even terrain. Okay, so they won't climb up mountains. Beings try harder to cross by a nearby ford instead of swimming. Oh, I see. So they'll go to the fort, like they will prefer to go to the fort instead of wanting to cross a river by swimming, for example. That makes sense. That's how it is in nature anyway, isn't it? Miscellaneous. New loading screen to the ancient warrior scenario. Okay, slightly increased population limit. Okay, domestic animals will now prefer to wander around stables. So, prettier shots for me. People now prefer to wear outfits that are in better condition. Ah. Ah. I'm not sure how that's gonna affect the gameplay. If they're gonna prefer wearing ones that are in better condition, then we're just gonna have a lot of mild condition ones, you know, mediocre condition ones left around. Is that right? I'm not sure. Workload calculations now count kids as half an adult. Didn't already? Well, that only makes sense. Is that gonna increase the workload? I don't know. You can now select a loaded person and right-click on a storage structure to tell them to go unload there. Okay, that's good. That's good. Added Elasmotherium and hyena, long-haired woman and old man into screen. What screen? The first screen? The one that you have when you open the game? Okay, whatever. All right, you know what? Rate up. Yes. Let's do that. Okay, guys. I'm going to end the video here. To recap it all, the main things that concern us is that there's going to be armor and we're going to be able to move our people around if in a battle scenario when raiders come attacking, and we need to set our meat and bone and skins to infinity at the beginning of the game so that we make sure that they automatically collect all of those things. And we're going to have 3 new techs: armor, mail, and reinforced shields for building an armor in order to be able to build an armorer. This is it for the moment, guys. I hope you like this recap of all the updates. Until next time, you stay alive.